everybody. Welcome back to Outlaw Radio. Let's get that music all the way down. And hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are live, baby, live, as I said. And I hope you all can hear me out there. Sorry, I'm just looking a little bit like a ragamuffin tonight. Welcome back to Outlaw Radio. It is episode 10. Episode 10. I'm not going to count them all off. It's all good. Welcome back. We're happy to be here. I'm happy to be back in my basement studio. Somewhere out there, Sean is making fun of me for still being able to see my washer and dryer in the background, and I understand that, but we're not going to make a big issue out of that. Let me know if you can hear me out there. I know there's a couple of people already that are listening or viewing, and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on out tonight. Hi, everybody. Hope you're all having a good day. First of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026, and oh boy, we're off to a great start, aren't we, with the events of the world? Oh, Jesus Christ. Look, to all my brothers and sisters in Minneapolis, what's going on out there is a complete disaster. It's a shit show. I want you all to keep safe. Make your voices heard, make your voices loud, and for the love of God, don't give in to fascism. For any of you that are having, that have friends or relatives that are either dealing with the situation in Iran or a part of the Palestinian situation, my God, so much craziness and stuff happening in the world right now. I don't want to dwell on that. That's not what this show is about. But with all of that stuff happening in the world, I would be an asshole if I didn't at least mention that it was on my mind. And since it is on my mind, I don't want to pretend that this exists in a vacuum. So please stay safe. Please make your voices loud and heard. Make sure that you're taking care of yourselves and your loved ones. And yeah. Anyways, thank you all for being here tonight. It is 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. I don't know why I do the 10 o'clock on the Wednesdays. It just sort of seems to be the way it is. But I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying being back. I'm enjoying being back live. I am going to represent my Toronto Blue Jays proudly. Mostly because I've got a terrible hair day and I don't feel like doing anything with it. So let's do it. There we go. Hi, guys. Welcome to Outlaw Radio episode 10. We are live, baby, live. I don't really have a format tonight, so I'm just going to get the obvious stuff out of the way. I've been a professional wrestler since 1995. It's my 30th year doing it, and I'm having a good old time as a pro wrestler. I'm currently the Blaze Pro Wrestling Canadian Heavyweight Champion, the best damned heavyweight in all of Canada. Until somebody comes along to prove me you're wrong. As such, I do want to say, Blaze Pro Wrestling's No Love Lost, February 27th, right here in Winnipeg, where I, the Outlaw Knight, will be taking on TNA's Cody Deaner. Excuse me, Cody, if you heard that. Fine gentleman. I've never met him. Another 25-year veteran. A consummate professional. But he's opened his yap. He's heard me talking about being just how great I am, and he wants to prove me wrong. So that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get to be the best without expecting other greatness to show up to give you what's what. It's going to be a great time. So yes, I'm a professional wrestler. February 27th, I've got an event coming up. Also, January 24th at Assiniboia Downs, there will be an event for Wrestling for a Cause with a whole bunch of ladies and gentlemen giving their time and their efforts to support local charities. That'll be at Assiniboia Downs. I should find a link for that and put it in the description, and I will do that. So yes, I've got January 24th and February 27th. Those are my next two events, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that. If you're here for the first time and you want to know more about what I do aside from just wrestling, I, believe it or not, have a head that's more than just a hat rack. I also write books. So book 1 and book 2 of my series, you know, this is Cowboy Ending, book 1, Outlaw Justice, book 2. There's a third book in the series that I'm working on, the fourth one as well. If you're interested in urban fantasy, fantasy at all, Dungeons and Dragons, or just like reading and want to take a chance on some guy's stuff, please, those links are in the description below. Please go to my Amazon page, take a look at some of my works. You can get them on Kindle, get them in paperback, and you can get them on hardcover. And I will eventually be doing audio versions, but I will not be using the AI bullshit reader because that is that's hogwash. That's just hogwash. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, welcome to the show. Hope you're having a good time tonight, everybody. Whether you're listening to this live now, if you are, please leave a comment in the description. Or if you're coming by later, please leave a comment below, because that really helps the algorithm. And of course, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Come on, people. I'm trying to build a platform here. I just reached 100 subscribers here on my YouTube, and I know I've been annoying a lot of the people in my contacts, and I'm sorry for that. But every little bit helps. And as the Outlaw starts, slowing down on this old track, I like having outlets like this where I can, get my voice out there and be heard. And don't worry, I won't always have the setup. I'll get a curtain and stuff behind me in the next little bit. But for now, it's what we got. It's a little rough and tumble, and I like it that way. So, like I said, I don't really have a plan for tonight. What I'm going to try to do is just have a little bit of fun, chit-chatting about what's happening, what's been coming up. Again, as I said, Blaze Pro Wrestling's, that is, of course, my home office right now, where the team's been doing a really, really, really good job lately of getting things in order for the last year. Recently, we've just opened, I'm taking the royal we in this one because I had so much to do with it, but the company has opened its new training center here in Winnipeg, and that's been fantastic. They're in a great facility. If you're interested in training at all, or you're curious about if pro wrestling is right for you, this weekend they are doing open tryouts. Please go to blazeprowrestling.com. Not only can you get tickets for our upcoming event, you can get a chance to sign up, pay your deposit, and this weekend, the 16th and 17th of January, this weekend, the 16th and 17th of January, you can sign up and take part and see if pro wrestling is something you'd like to do. Here's a little shitty ASMR for you as I drink a little water. Oh my goodness. I'm going to leave those coughs in because we're live. That's what we do. So yes, check them on out this weekend if you like, blazeprowrestling.com, and see if the pro wrestling industry is something you'd like to have a go at. So that is very important. So, again, as I mentioned, so many interesting things happening right now. We've started a new year. I'm in my 49th year of life, my 31st year of pro wrestling. That's crazy enough to say. And there's a lot of stuff happening in the next 12 months that I'd like to be a part of. Again, that match with Cody Deaner being one that's very high on my focus right now. As a result of that, I've realized that I need to focus on a couple things I haven't focused on a whole lot of the last little bit, which is going to be my conditioning. See, now, I might be the best damn heavyweight in all of Canada, but that doesn't mean that that does mean that as the a guy with all of my experience, all of my size, and all my strength, I have taken some shortcuts along the way and just try to bully guys and beat them up. A guy like Cody Deaner, I will need to be a cardio machine again. I used to be. I'm looking at the tapes and I've been doing them, uploading them and putting them in the From the Vault section every Monday here on my YouTube channel. So I'm seeing that once upon a time I was a surprisingly fit, agile young fella, especially for a guy at 6'4" and over 200 pounds. But now, agility is not really going to be my thing. Strength and experience is going to be my deal. So I am focusing on my training for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and it's going to be a little bit more on my mobility, my resiliency, and my endurance. No longer will I be able to rely on just whipping somebody's ass in 5 to 8 minutes. A guy like Cody Deaner, I have to be ready to probably have to put in some time and be ready for him to push me to the 25, 30 minute mark, and that's okay. I'm still going to win. Spoiler alert. I hope. I don't want to be proven wrong at this point in time. Anyways, so next couple weeks I'm really looking forward. I've been stepping up my cardio training a little bit, doing a lot more stretching, and really trying to work on my neck strength and flexibility as well. Once upon a time I used to be able to do some neck bridges. Johnny Devine will tell you that. Not as well as you can, Harry Smith. But I can't do anything as well as Harry Smith can. God damn, that guy's a machine. But yeah, so that's going to be the focus for the next little while. So if you're following me on the socials, and occasionally I'm, posting gym stuff and you're wondering what's going on with that, there will be a little more of the sweaty cardio stuff going on. Vulcan Nerd, hey Brady, hey, you say hi to Brady for me. And show's muted. Am I muted? That's no good. Well, that sucks. Can you guys not hear me? Can you guys not hear me at all? That's wild if that's the case. Let me check on over here on the YouTubes. Oh, yeah, the show is muted because you're talking to Brady on Discord. Well, fine then. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, Mulligan. And tell Brady to join the chat as well if he wants. So that's what I've had going on in the next little bit. Again, books, gym. I am going to make an effort tomorrow in the morning anyway. I'm going to have a little bit of free time, so after I get my workout done. I've got a fourth book in this series that I'm way behind on, so I'm hoping to dedicate a few hours strictly to pushing towards that, because creative endeavors are very important things, and they will outlast anything I do in the ring. And that's a very important thing for me to remember going forward. So again, we are live. I'm hoping for suggestions for anything anyone wants to talk about, but failing that, I actually had a rare opportunity to sit down and I sat down and I watched AEW Dynamite tonight. And that's the first time in a long time I was able to sit down and have a wrestling program on as it was happening. So usually what I end up doing, because I'm a busy-ass person like everybody else, I end up watching it on the replay, or I catch the clips online and just put it together and try to form an opinion. But it's Wednesday, it's 10 o'clock, and I happen to be home from the hours of 7 to 9. So at the risk of stealing the thunder of Mr. Brian Alvarez, I think I'm going to talk about what I liked about the show, what I didn't like about the show. I'm not going to go on any big rants, because I don't think that's, one, professional, or two, something anybody gives a shit about. But I would like to say there were some things on there that I thoroughly enjoyed. Thoroughly enjoyed. So unless somebody wants to cut me off and get me started, cut me off, I'm going to talk about some of the things I really liked about AEW Dynamite tonight. Darby and Pac opened the show. Let me tell you, I know there's a lot of people out there that are hating on the Death Riders thing, but it does seem to be that the crowd is turning around and starting to really understand what Moxley and company are trying to get across. So it is always fun to see two guys the caliber of Darby and Pac really go at it. Pac's been just a phenom from as long as I've seen him. I remember watching his stuff when he was still just where he was just the machine, the athletic high. When he was the previous Will Ospreay in Europe before Will came around, and seeing how he's developed and packed on the size and become a really well-rounded athlete has been something to see. And Darby Allin is a psychopath. But I am thoroughly enjoying the elements he's added to his game, beyond just putting his body at ridiculous risk. Like that overhead belly to belly he took onto the steel steps on the outside of the ring was absolutely disgusting. And I swear the kid's trying to kill himself. But we're all young once. And the rate he's going, he's not going to be young for much longer. But I will say I do enjoy watching all the elements of Sting's arsenal he's put into his repertoire. Seeing him throw in a reverse DDT, the Scorpion Death Drop, and the Deathlock has been a nice touch. Pac is one of those guys that can have an amazing match with the metaphorical broom. So seeing those two guys go at it, have a big old brawl, was great fun, and I really enjoyed that. Other things I liked, I really liked the Ladies Trios match. It's so great seeing the in-ring improvements of all of those ladies, and I don't want to be critical of anybody here. That's not what I'm trying to do. But because a lot of those athletes are very young in the business, and some of them haven't had a lot of experience outside of their time in AEW, and God bless them, good for them. Getting signed when they're fairly early on. And I know they spent a lot of time with Dustin Rhodes and a lot of the other guys in the system trying to develop their skills and the ring stuff. But as anyone will tell you, and it's a very common refrain you hear in the industry these days, as the bigger companies have fewer and fewer house shows, fewer non-televised events, these younger people don't get as many reps. And that's a shame, because it's only by trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing that you actually learn what works, what doesn't, and what to do when you fail in a situation, and how to make it look very natural and recover from it. So with that said, I really like Tekla and Sky Blue and Julia Hart as a trio. I really like how Julia and Sky Blue have sort of developed over the years, not just in the ring, but with their personas and their appearance and their presentation. Tekla brings a lot of international experience. She's the one in that group that definitely has the reps, and it shows. She is sharp and she is dynamic, and I really am looking forward to seeing her match for the women's world title with Chris Statlander, who's also another one of my favorites. Um, Shout out to Harley Cameron, who has improved so much and is such a multi-talented performer. I really like her work. And Willow's great. Willow's great. Had a fantastic match with Mercedes last week. It was last week, right? No, 2 weeks ago. So seeing her as the TBS champion once again has been awesome. Overall, the ladies are kicking ass, whether it's on Dynamite or NXT or WWE or anywhere around the industry right now. It is great to see such high quality. I don't want to say I won't go so far as to say Joshi, but Joshi style ladies wrestling in North America has been great, and I'm happy to see it really picked up. And I just hope my daughter doesn't enjoy it too much, because I'd like her to use her brain for a living and not follow her daddy into the ring if possible. It's probably too late for that shit. The four-way tag match for the number one contendership was interesting. Bit of a mishmash, but that's all right. The Young Bucks always have a great party match, and so getting those four teams together was very, very cool. I will say it's always odd seeing Don Callis and Kenny Omega on TV. It's just odd for me, considering how well I know both those guys. And anytime I see Don with a mic on TV, it just takes me back to every locker room I spent there with him, or back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when he and Tony Condello and a couple of other people were trying to start up local programming once again, whether it was for, APTN or CTV or whatever the program station was at the time. But yeah, no, it's always a treat watching two Winnipeg boys on TV setting the world on fire. So that's been great. I always enjoy seeing that stuff. That's a good time for me. And I hope my boy Kenny, hope Omega's in good shape. Well, beyond the obvious physicality, cosmetically, I mean, given all the injuries and stuff he's been dealing with the last little bit, it looks like he's gearing up for a good run, and I hope he can fulfill that, because we're all getting up there. I'm a ways ahead of him, but he's put his body through way more hell than I did, so it's just good to see him out there, and I hope he can go for a long, long time. Going to jump right to the main event. Not that I, didn't like the rest of it. Brody King's always great, but I really, really enjoyed watching MJF and Bandito. First things first, Bandito's ring gear, that sword and that armor. I don't know if it was Minecraft inspired or whatever, but considering he's usually more of a Western style, which props, I can respect that as well. Seemed a bit off-brand, but I did dig his look, and I did dig the rest of that. And of course, MGF is just the standard bearer for AEW and the brand. He has the poise and the skill in the ring of a guy who's got an extra 10 years and 2,000 matches under his belt. It is remarkable watching that man. He's pure class as a world champion and as a professional wrestler. He is incredibly talented. He wrestles in a way that belies his age, which I realize he's not a young man anymore, but I am thoroughly impressed. What he and Bandito put on was nothing short of a terrific pro wrestling match. I loved the intensity. I loved the intelligence of it. I quite thoroughly enjoyed the psychology of it. And of course, amidst the psychology, we still got the high-flying and crazy action stuff, because Bandito trying to do his best Rob Van Dam, where he does the big dive over the barricade into the crowd, that was impressive. Not gonna lie, that was super impressive. Man, oh man. Whole match was great. I love the setup at the end. It looks like, in the meantime, we're going to be getting Big Bad Brody King against MGF, and I think that's a good matchup. As a super heavyweight fella and somebody who's, really in touch with, the state of the world, I respect Brody King in many, many ways, and I'm happy to see him getting an opportunity as a singles guy after being put in tags for quite a bit during his time in AEW. So that's very impressive, and I enjoy it very much. So if we're getting MJF and Brody King, I am a big fan, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens after that. Stuff I didn't like, well, the obvious is the obvious, and that's just there's just too many belts. There's too many titles. between the tag titles, the trios tag titles, TNT title, Continental title, Unified title, the Ring of Honor Championship, Ring of Honor champion taking on the AEW World Champion, the ladies showing up. Everybody's got a belt. And I understand this is not an AEW problem, because God knows I can't watch 20 minutes of any version of WWE programming where there aren't 15 different people with 15 different titles. I'm exaggerating slightly, but oh my God. I understand there's hours and hours of programming you got to fill in every week, but if everybody's got a belt, none of that shit's special. At least not to me. All right? I understand equality. You want the men and the ladies to both have, same levels of championships. 100%. I'm on board. I think that's great. But too much is too much. Waters it all down. And the other thing I didn't like, and this is just a personal thing, the advertisements they had at the barriers for the White Castle Burger Brawl. Look, I totally get 100% branding's a thing, and I understand that the advertising is a thing, and you want to have some some corporate synergy with all your sponsors. But let's be real. White Castle is a Swiss chalet of the United States fast food establishments, and by that I mean they're both the shits. And I hardly need another reason to avoid anything about the United States these days. So White Castle, fine for Harold and Kumar, fine for a bunch of stoned, young university people. But for anybody who actually has a palate and is hungry and wants some real food, I'm kidding. Make your money, Tony. You got to do what you got to do to pay your bills and to keep the sponsors happy. I totally get it. So yeah, that was my quick and dirty review of AEW Dynamite. I realized it wasn't the most in-depth, the craziest thing ever in the world, but I don't know, just trying it out. So that's pretty much all I got for today. I appreciate all of you that are here live. If you have anything you'd like to say or any questions you'd like to ask, please write them in the chat right now. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up and get myself ready for next week, because as cool as this is, and it's pretty cool, I am tired. It's been a long week. My my dog had to have a big vet visit. I had a lot of stuff I had to do with the family, and so I'm a little worn out, but that's okay. And it is 10:30 here in Winnipeg. So, all right. Thank you all for being here tonight. Again, thank you for coming to Outlaw Radio. Again, if you get a chance and you're in a reading mood, I got books. Please check out my link down below for my links to my books at Amazon. Ebooks are great. Check them out in paperback and hardcover as well. That's awesome. Please, if you're interested in my merchandise, go to that as well. That's a good time. I've got my Pros and Tees pages right down below. I am on all the socials. I'm at Outlaw Night on Instagram and now on TikTok. I'm giving it a go. So if that's something you're interested in, young people, I understand that TikTok's a thing, and I'm a little behind on that, but that's fine. And yeah, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you sticking around and checking out the stuff over the holidays. Again, I've just reached 100 subscribers here on YouTube, so please, if you haven't already, like the show, share it with your friends. If you think I got something to say, great. If you think I'm boring, now's the time for quiet. But I am really trying to get my watch hours up. I would love to get to the point where I get in the YouTube Partner Program and have more to say and be able to give this to a wider audience. So thank you all for being here. It means the world. If you're here afterwards, again, like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I will be back next Wednesday. I will be live next Wednesday, and I'm looking for topics. So if there's anything you want to talk about or talk about with me, let me know. And I am inching closer and closer to be able to do this live with somebody else at the same time to actually have real conversations. Ken, 100 subscribers. It's crazy, brother. 100 people say to give a darn about me. Hopefully. Maybe more than that. We'll see. All right. I'll be back next week live. We'll have a topic. We'll talk a little bit more in depth. Maybe it'll be another AEW review. Maybe there'll be something in the wrestling world that'll be more enticing than the news in the world these days. God, that stuff is driving me crazy. And there we go. From the Vault, we'll have another match this Monday. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I'm still actually uploading stuff from all of my VHSs right now, and that is a colossal pain, let me tell you, digitizing that stuff, but we're going to be there. And yeah, I keep talking about doing a Fitness Friday, and I'm hoping to start doing that maybe this week. We'll see if I can get it cut together in time. And yeah, thank you all for being here. I'll be back next Wednesday from the Vault on Monday. And like, subscribe, share it to your friends. Be good to yourselves. Be good to your people. Please, if you're one of my friends in the United States, please take care of yourselves right now. Take care of your neighbors. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here, people. It means a lot.